Welcome to the deep dive. We're dipping straight into something that, well, affects us all pretty deeply, our homes. Specifically, how you make smart choices about house style and the floor plan.
Right.
Forget just flipping through pretty pictures for a second. Think of this as your shortcut, maybe, to understanding the core ideas in home design.
Yeah, so you can navigate your options with, real clarity and hopefully some excitement too.
Exactly.
We've looked at a lot of information to really pinpoint what makes a house feel like a home, a space that actually supports and improves your daily life.
Okay.
Our mission today, really, is to help you connect your lifestyle to all those architectural styles and floor plan options out there.
So the goal is a home that isn't just nice to look at, but one that works seamlessly for you.
That's the idea.
Ah.
Beautiful and functional.
Okay, let's unpack this. Where do we even start? It's not with the glossy magazines, I guess.
Definitely not. It starts with you. How do you actually genuinely see yourself living in that space, day in, day out? It's fascinating how often people get drawn to a certain look, an aesthetic, and it overshadows the practical side of daily living. So we're suggesting a shift. Let's first think about the rhythm of your life. Like, if you love having people over,
Okay.
do you imagine this constant flow? Kitchen, dining, living, all blending together, lots of interaction.
Or maybe you prefer things a bit more separate, defined zones for different activities, social spaces, and quieter spots.
Exactly. That distinction is key. And it gets specific, like you said, about hosting.
Yeah, if you throw big dinner parties,
Yeah.
that open layout helps with serving, moving around, flexible seating.
But someone who prefers, say, cozier, more intimate gatherings might find those defined spaces feel better. Warmer, maybe.
And what about working from home? So many people do now.
Oh, absolutely.
That dedicated office space, maybe with good natural light, it's not just a nice to have anymore, is it? It feels pretty essential for focus.
It really is. And this brings up future planning, too. Think about now, sure, but also, where might you be in 5 years, 10, even 20?
Good point. Like, could that spare room be a guest room now, but maybe a nursery later?
Or space for hobbies? Or maybe aging parents down the line. Thinking ahead like that really impacts long-term satisfaction.
And just the simple stuff too, right? Like cooking.
Yeah. How do you actually cook? That huge pro-style kitchen looks amazing.
Like maybe it's totally overwhelming if you just make simple meals most nights.
Exactly. So it boils down to this, I think. A stunning home is kind of worthless if it doesn't work for you. For your routines.
Practicality isn't the enemy of beauty here. It's really the foundation.
Well said. And once you have a clearer handle on those lifestyle priorities, then you can start exploring the architectural styles.
Okay.
Think of them as, like, visual languages. They often hint at certain types of layouts and features inside.
Right. So let's touch on a few popular ones just to get ideas flowing. Modern, for instance.
Okay, modern. You're usually looking at clean lines, very open floor plans, big windows connecting inside and out.
Simplicity and light seem key there.
Yeah, someone who really wants that feeling of spaciousness, that indoor-outdoor flow, might lean towards modern. The lack of clutter can feel calming, too.
Then there's farmhouse. Totally different feel.
Totally different, more rustic charm, gabled roofs, maybe those wraparound porches.
Warm and inviting.
Exactly. Inside, often comfy, informal spaces made for gathering. It appeals to people wanting a relaxed, maybe family-focused vibe, connection to natural materials.
Okay, what about colonial? That feels more traditional.
It is. Very symmetrical on the outside, classic proportions. Inside, you often find more formal, defined rooms, good for traditional family layouts where you want distinct living areas.
Interesting how the outside symmetry often leads to that balanced, maybe predictable flow inside. Clear zones.
It often does. Then for a warmer climate, or just a different feel, Mediterranean.
Right. Stucco, red tile roofs.
Birched windows, yeah. Elegant feel. Naturally lends itself to courtyards, patios, extending the living space outdoors, which is huge in warmer places.
Makes sense. And craftsman. I always think of details with that one.
You should. It's all about celebrating the handcrafted stuff. Exposed beams, overhanging eaves.
Quality materials, character.
Exactly. Appeals to those who love meticulous detail, authenticity. That focus on natural wood and stone creates a really warm feel, too.
And lastly, contemporary. It feels a bit broader.
It is broader. Often incorporates smart home tech. Definitely a focus on energy efficiency, sometimes more unusual shapes, very forward-thinking designs.
So embracing new ideas, new tech.
Yeah, it's about being current, but also highly functional, sustainable. But look, the main thing here is you don't need to become an architect overnight.
Ah, right.
It's about figuring out which style, or maybe mix of styles, just feels like home to you, what resonates personally.
Absolutely. Okay, so we've thought about lifestyle, touched on styles. Now let's go inside. The floor plan fundamentals.
Yes, this is where lifestyle really meets the daily reality.
So basic structure first. Single story versus multi-story.
Right. Single story offers that ease of movement, great for accessibility. Multi-story can give you more separation maybe between bedrooms and living areas.
Depends on mobility, lot size, privacy preferences, noise levels even.
All of that. And speaking of privacy, what about a split bedroom layout?
Where the main bedroom is separate from the others.
Exactly. Can be great for families with older kids, or if you have guests, often it creates that distinct private zone.
And then the utility spaces. Often overlooked, but so important.
Oh, hugely. Like, would a mudroom right off the garage make your life way easier? Keep the mess contained?
Or a walk-in pantry if you cook a lot or buy in bulk.
And the laundry room. Where is it most convenient? Near the bedrooms often makes sense. Saves hauling laundry baskets up and down stairs.
These are the details that make a huge difference day to day. Easy to forget when you're looking at pretty pictures.
So true. Also thinking about the future again, is there like an unfinished bonus room over the garage?
Could that become something else later? An office? Guest suite?
Planning for that flexibility adds real value and lets the home adapt with you.
And we can't forget sunlight, right? The orientation of the house.
Crucial. Which way do the windows face? How does light move through the space during the day? It totally changes the feel of a room.
Yeah, a sunny south-facing living room feels different than a north-facing office needing consistent, maybe less direct light.
Exactly. And practically speaking, storage.
Never enough storage.
You almost never regret having more. And then traffic flow. Think about how you move through the house.
You want to avoid those awkward paths, right?
Yeah.
Like having to cut through the laundry room to get to your bedroom.
Definitely not ideal. It sounds obvious, but you see layouts like that sometimes. Needs careful thought.
Okay, so people have thought about lifestyle, styles, layout basics. Where do they actually start looking at concrete options? It can feel overwhelming.
It can, but there are some really good starting points. Don't worry.
Okay, like what?
Well, a great first step, especially if you're feeling a bit lost, is just exploring online house plan websites.
Like e-plans or architectural designs, those big ones.
Exactly. They have huge collections. You can filter by style, size, number of bedrooms, bathrooms. Helps narrow things down based on those needs you identified.
Makes sense. What about visual inspiration?
Pinterest is fantastic for that. Create boards, pin styles, room layouts, specific features you like.
And you start seeing patterns in what you're drawn to.
Precisely. Even if you don't know the official terms yet, you start developing your visual taste. You see what feels like you.
Good idea. And seeing things in person.
Oh, definitely. Go to open houses. Even if you're planning to build new, it's invaluable.
Just to get a feel for different layouts, how space actually flows.
Yes. Things look different in photos. You might walk into a space and realize you love something you hadn't considered or hate something you thought you'd like.
Real world experience.
Oh.
Okay. What if you want something more custom?
Then talking to an architect or a residential designer is the way to go.
They can tailor something specifically to your needs, your site, your budget.
Absolutely. They bring expertise in spatial planning, structure, local codes. It can save a lot of headaches, honestly. And potentially money in the long run.
And for visualizing. Before anything's built.
There are some great 3D design tools out there now. Software that lets you do virtual walkthroughs.
So you can kind of test drive the layout.
Yeah.
See potential issues.
Exactly. Refine it in the virtual world first. The key really is start broad, gather ideas, then refine. The best plans are crafted for you, not just copied.
So when you boil it all down, choosing your house design, it's really about making sure the space reflects your story, right? Supports how you actually want to live.
Yeah, it's much more than just walls and a roof. It's designing the setting for your life.
And getting it right means the home can grow with you, adapt over time.
It becomes a place that works with you, not against you. Supports your routines, your future plans.
Okay, here's something to maybe chew on. Take a moment later today. Mentally walk through your typical routine. Getting up, making coffee, working, dinner, relaxing. Now imagine doing that in a couple of different imaginary floor plans. Where does it feel easy, smooth? Where do you hit friction? Feel cramped or awkward?
Ooh, that's a great exercise. Visualizing your actual life inside the lines on a page.
It can tell you a lot, I think. things a simple blueprint might not reveal.
That mental rehearsal really helps you engage with the design personally, practically. Spot potential problems early.
Our next deep dive will actually explore how you find and choose the right architect or designer to bring these ideas to life. So definitely join us for that.
And just remember, this whole process, it's deeply personal. It's not just about building a house. It's about shaping your own Dream Build 360.